Hello, my name is WHS Miniatures, and today I'm going to be showing you how to turn this into this, your very own custom Ork Kommando kill team gauges. The first step I did was cut out some small plastic card teeth. We cut some small rectangles out of the plastic card and use these as eyebrows. Next, we take that fence looking material and cut a triangle out of it. Then I use plastic card to cut a plate. Then I take a plastic card tube, cutting it to length, then chopping it in half and sanding it, and then gluing it onto the kill team gauge. Then I make another panel with the leftover plastic card. And with that, the kitbashing is finished. On to base coats. Next I use Mephiston red and Wild Redder red, mixing them to make a kind of reddish orangish mixture, going a little bit heavier on the red. Then we cover the whole entire kill team gauge in this red orange mixture. Following this step, I took some black and used it to paint the trim around the kill team gauge, getting all the way around it and making a kind of outline for it. Then we go on to dry brushing. I use a trio of silvers, a crafts paint, iron breaker, and lead belcher. Firstly, I take the craft paint and cover most of the black. You can go as little or as much as you want with this. Then I take my lead belcher, going in smaller areas and around the same areas as the craft paint. And then finally, I finish it off with some iron breaker in the tinier places. Next, I use white, Abaddon black, and dark Prussian blue to make the classic orc checker design. What I do here is I first initially make lines, kind of like an outline for the boxes. And then, following that, I color them in, swapping between the three colors if necessary. What I actually did here is I went back on the decision of using black and blue on one. Instead, on half I did white and blue, and on the other half I did white and black. I use Mephiston Red, base coating that inside of all of the eyes. Once we're done with that, we go back to the dark Prussian blue and paint the other half of the kill team's face. What I did for the little faces is a bit different. I painted one in completely blue, the other in completely green, one in half and half, and one in quarters. After this, I use Flat Red by Vallejo to highlight all of the eyes. On this eye, you want to go towards the left more, and on the circular one, you want to go in the middle. Then with some Wild Rider Red, we do a final highlight, painting in the very left, in the very center of the eyes. Then I go back to the craft paint and paint all of the robotic eyes and teeth of the model. And paint the fence piece. Then I use Averland Sunset to base coat one of the plates, using thin paint in multiple layers. And Wild Rider Red to do another. Again, using thin paint and even layers. Then I break out my iron breaker again, and I paint all of the different pipes that I laid down. I then go back to Mephiston Red to fix any little mistakes I made. I also paint the handle of the knife with this color. Then with some lead belcher, I paint the sword. With that, we only have one step left. Weathering. This step you can go as little or as much as you want. I use flat yellow to highlight the top edge of the panel, and then make little scratching indents towards the top to simulate wear and tear. Once that is done, I go to the sides and highlight up, doing again little tiny scratch marks to simulate wear and tear. Then the final step is to put some dots and scratch marks across the panel. Then, using Troll Slayer Orange and Flat Red, I do the same to the other panels. Then with some Abaddon Black, I put tiny little dots and scratch marks to simulate damage across the panel. Likewise, I do the same with the other two panels. Then we use some silver, it doesn't matter any kind, putting that in the littler parts of the black. Then, reverting back to that old mixture that we used, we dry brush it across the panels and little parts to simulate dust. Then we color in the specific colors for the shapes. And now it's time for an epic reveal.